Hello, this is Cornell Key here, Key 2 Sports Training. Today I'm going to be showing you a video on how you can help strengthen your hips. We get, like I said, we get a lot of questions about how to make our athletes' hips stronger. We do recommend your basic exercises, your squats, lunges, step-ups, hamstring exercises, improving the mobility and the flexibility of your adductors, your abductors, so forth and so on. But here are some other drills that we use that have helped significantly with our athletes, especially again our female athletes as they get older, just helping them strengthen and stabilize their hips a little bit more, and we think that they'll be of some help to you. So I have Marissa here, starting off lying down on her back. And what she's going to do is take one of these little, we have these little inch and a half thick pads here that we use. If you don't have those, you can use a different device. You can use anything you have that will kind of squeeze together at home. Or if you do have these are a great tool. And she's just simply going to lie on her back with her feet together. All right, her toes are going to be up, heels down, toes up. There you go. You're going to squeeze that together. I'm going to squeeze that together and hold it for a second. Squeeze and then relax. And a squeeze and relax. And do one more time. Squeeze and relax. This is turning on the adductors and deep in the hips there in the groin area. Okay. In the next area, the next exercise we're going to get into is she's going to do that same thing. She's going to squeeze both lips the size of those pads together, and she's going to then holding those together. Marissa, holding those together, you're going to go into a little glute bridge here. All right, so you're going to raise the hips all the way up as high as you can, squeeze the glutes, and then back down. All right, raise them up again, all the way up, back down. We'll do one more here, all the way up and back down. All right, so you want to do both of those exercises for fairly moderate to high reps, somewhere between 10 and 15, maybe even 20 reps once you get a little stronger. And those will help you with the inside portion of your hip, the adductors, the groin area, just really getting that activated. Okay, especially for women in that deep abdominal wall there. That's an exercise that can really be of a lot of value. So next here we have we're going to lay Marissa here on her side, her feet together, and you see we have a mini band just around the ankles there. And what she's going to do with that mini band is simply raise her right leg up, pointing her big toe towards her left foot. So we're going to point that big toe downward and raise that leg up for the tune of 8 to 15 reps. Just raising it up and down, keep the leg as straight as possible. All right, this is going to work her abductors and her glutes all the way down, okay? This is a great exercise for strengthening the hips. And you can do this for 2 to 3 sets. Again, 8 to 15 reps. We have a mini band here. If you can get mini band, that's great. Some people may use tubing or bigger bands. You just have to double loop the tubes or the bands. But this is another great exercise here for the hips. All right. Take that top foot, put it flat on the ground. She's going to take her right hand like you see her doing, and she's going to pull up on that foot to get a good stretch on the glute, get a good stretch on that piriformis there. She's going to dorsiflex that bottom foot and suspend that leg off the ground about 1 inch, and you're going to just simply raise that leg up and down as far as you can go. Up and down, up and down. This is another way to strengthen the adductors here. Great hip exercise here. And again, you want to do this for anywhere from, I said 8 to 15 reps, so sticking with that theme, somewhere in that range. Do about 2 to 3 sets of this. All right, and relax. Good. All right, so now moving into the next phase of the hip work that we're going to show you. We started off on the floor with some baseline exercises. Now we're going to get into some cable or some band work here. If you have cables or access to a cable machine or bands, you can use bands. Just kind of choke the band around a stable device, whether it be the leg of a table or something that you know is not going to move, and then go ahead and wrap the band around your ankle. We have Marissa here with her foot attached to the cable. Okay, and what she's going to do, you're going to step out about another step there. Okay, And she's just gonna do facing straight ahead, facing straight ahead. You're gonna do a straight leg raise. All right, stabilizing on one leg. All right. So we want to make sure that as she's doing this leg raise, she keeps a straight line from the hip all the way through the shoulders. All right. And you want to do this with relatively moderate to light weight. Doesn't take a whole lot of weight. You see she's not using much weight there. About 7.5 pounds on the cable. All right. Then you're going to go into a knee raise here. All right. There we go. Knee raise. This is great for the anterior portion of the hip. All right. Really developing some. And what you'll find is when you start to do these, your stabilizing leg, her left leg is going to work just as hard as her right leg. You want to make sure that there's no excess hip movement. Relax there, Marissa. All right. You're going to turn and face me. Okay. So now she's going to adduct with the cable. Okay. Yeah. Excuse me. She's going to abduct with the cable. So you're going to raise that leg all the way out to your right. Okay. As high as you can. Keep the hips and shoulders nice and tall. Reaching all the way out and across. There we go. You want to start with the foot across the body, get a full range of motion, and drive that hip all the way out to the side. All right. This is not easy, and she's struggling there a little bit, but she's doing a good job. All right. So you're going to turn and face the cable machine next. Back up a couple feet. All right. She's going to keep her leg straight and drive that heel straight back. Okay. Working the glutes, the hamstrings. Very good, and then she's gonna face the back door there. You might have to lift your foot and let that swivel come underneath the heel. There you go. All right, now she's gonna drive that leg across the body. Okay. There we go. There you go. There you go. You see she's stabilizing there. Her hips are working. Very good. Very good. All the while you want to keep a nice tall posture all the way through. And relax, good. So now we have Marissa here in the accelerated lean position here. You want to make sure that you have that plank hold, straight line from the ankle all the way through the shoulder. You want to tighten the glutes and make sure that everything is locked in. And what she's going to do is simply dorsiflex the foot and drive that right knee through. So as she does that, you want to make sure that the shoulders don't round forward. And you keep that left leg completely locked out. You'll see a lot of coaches do this for their athletes working acceleration. This is also great for the hips, as it's also engaging your core, engaging the low back, obviously the glutes and abs. Remembering that the core is a much wider range of muscles than just your abs, especially for female athletes or females in general. All right, you're going to do this for the same amount of reps and relax. Very good. Okay, so the next exercise here is what we call a balancing alphabet. What you're going to have the athlete do is stand on the floor first. She's doing a little bit more advanced version of it, standing on a cushion pad here. And they're simply going to dorsiflex that bottom foot, push the heel towards the floor, and draw uppercase letters, A to Z. You want to draw the alphabet. The focus here is to keep the foot dorsiflexed. You want to draw those letters, every letter in the alphabet. You want to keep that bottom leg straight and really focus on keeping the hip pushed through. And this helps you with your balance, you know, some core proprioception here, and obviously stabilizing and mobilizing the hip. We use this a lot when we can't get to our cable machines, or we don't have any external devices like bands or anything like that to really work the hips. And this is a great way to get your hips working here, just using your own body weight. So our athletes will go through that, and then they'll switch legs. And what you'll find is most right-footed athletes will have a much easier time stabilizing on their left, and a little bit more of a difficult time doing it on the right. This is the balancing alphabet. All right, so one of the last things that we'll do with the athletes when we're finishing up the hip routine that we do, there's more things than what we show, but when we're finishing up the hips, is always work is always adding some of that lower abdominal work, okay? Those deep abdominal muscles really help stabilize the pelvis and really help with all the other things that we're trying to do. That's why it's so important that you have to incorporate, you know, your hamstring, your lower back, and those squat type movements to really get that deep abdominal strength. But this exercise here is nothing fancy, the reverse crunch. She's just going to squeeze the ball between her heels and her knees, and her butt, and she's going to bring the knees into the chest, okay? Very low level exercise here, but it'll really help. She's working on drawing in and driving the knees in to her chest there, all right? You want to keep the foot dorsiflexed and do this for anywhere between 20 and 30 reps, all right? And relax, good. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is what they call a TKE, terminal knee extension. All right, this is great for your hips here. It's going to activate her glute medius and the VMO that sits right on the outside portion of her quad there, right about there. I lost my camera view for a second there. All right, all she's going to do, put a band right behind the knee. She's going to stand up, push that knee back, okay, and give a light heel touch on the floor, okay, with the opposite leg. You're going to do this for high reps. You'll see there's a little bit of a shake there in the knees. And she's going to do this for anywhere between 20 and 30 reps per leg. Go a couple sets through. All right, TKE with a heel touch off of this is a relatively small step up riser here. It's probably 6 inches or so. All right, the weaker you are, the lower you can go, and you can go a little higher if need be as well with the 12-inch box. All right, great for the hips here. And relax.